Most traders will never get funded, and even less of them will stay funded. Why? They over-risk, they overtrade, they crumble under pressure when they get close to a payout. This is why we have created funding mechanics. The step-by-step roadmap to get funded faster, stay funded longer, and scale smarter. No more gambling, no more chasing 5-minute and 15-minute random entries. Just clear structure, strategy, and scalability. This is what you'll learn. Get paid out faster and stack consistent payouts. Protect your capital and confidence with a proven risk model. You'll learn how to combine swing and intraday trading seamlessly, and you'll learn how to play the prop firm game like the house, not the player. Join Falcon FX before the 28th of October and you'll lock in the lifetime pricing before the increase. Get funding mechanics that is valued at $499, included in this completely free. And on top of that, secure your priority access to the in-house fund. This is the 100 mil evolution of Falcon. The next wave of funded traders is being built right now. 6 months from today, you're either going to be funded or still sitting there wondering what if. This is your last chance before the 28th, before the price increases permanently. The doors close on the 28th of October. Get in now or miss out on the chance to build your funding future forever. At the end of the day, you want to scale up. Like, you want to be trading the most amount of capital so you can make the most amount of money. That's the goal for all of us traders. Yet you still fall into this same trap where you're trying your hardest to learn the system, to learn how to control your emotions, you're investing money into challenges, you're going 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Painful. It can be very demoralizing. But there is a way that we can bridge that gap. You probably heard me talk about funding mechanics recently. We have been working on this. We have put hundreds of hours into this, using all of the data from our best traders. Why do they get funded and stay funded, yet you don't? Do you still want to be in the same position of blowing money on funding, knowing that it was right under your nose, and if you just made a few little adjustments, strategy neutral, regardless of how you trade? It particularly works better with the Falcon system, but this is useful for any strategy. Imagine that you were just a few tweaks away from staying funding. There is only so much that I can share. All I will say is this. This is one of the most valuable pieces of material that we have put together in the history of this project. Now, if you get involved before the 28th, I sat there and I thought, do you know what? This is a completely separate thing. But what we're going to do, for those that join the membership before the 28th of October, not only will you guarantee that you have got the legacy pricing, you won't pay a single penny for funding mechanics. You will have the whole course included for free. And all you need to do is be a member by the 28th. That's my gesture back to you, because this is worth thousands. This will save you thousands, and it is step by step. Every single thing that you need, that you are lacking, that is stopping you getting consistently paid out. One of the key things about this is that you will realize that you don't have to be that trader that just gets paid out once in a blue moon every 3 to 4 months. No, there is a way that you can do this, but you need to know on certain prop firms how to fly under the radar. Because if you don't, you're just going to get those emails where you're denied a payout, you're denied the withdrawals, you're back in the same loop, negative headspace. You don't want any of that. And I've solved all of it. It's so clear, laid out for you, that by the end of the funding mechanics, regardless of what strategy you trade, you will now know how to consistently make money from these prop firms, level up your personal account as well, putting yourself in a better financial position. You ask yourself, how much is that worth to you? The fact that you can access that just by being a member is insane. So please, take advantage of it. Welcome to Funding Mechanics. I am going to teach you the formula, the systems, the processes in how you can stack capital in ways that you've not even thought about. Now it's time to build your empire. Welcome to module 2. This is when we're going to get granular into the nitty gritty. That's what this is really about. So what we're going to be doing is breaking down the pillars. Then I'm going to be going into some chart work so you understand exactly what I mean. As in, how can you take advantage of it on this? How can you take advantage of that? How does that relate to the individual accounts? So we can make sure you're stacking up the most efficient way possible. You can make an argument for, well, we had our 4-hour entry. Absolutely. So this becomes almost your semi-swing style move where you're either already in, and this is why it's so important to understand how to get in different time frames. I want to give you another quick gift, and this is going to be on the charts, and we're going to get into the charts in a minute, and you're going to understand a bit more as to how you can take advantage of this and make sure that come the end of the year, you're in a better financial position, you're trading with more capital. That's what I want for you. So we're going to go over that on the charts in just a second, but I want to share this with you. You know, like right now, you can access prop firms, you can buy challenge. There's some that are relatively cheap. There are good prop firms, there are bad prop firms, ones that pay you out, ones that don't. What I'm saying is the access that you've got, the low barrier to entry to be able to get capital, to leverage that and put yourself in a better position is easier than it's ever been. Yet people still struggle. Why do they struggle? When I was learning how to trade, I had to either know someone, come from a wealthy family, or be connected. None of those. I didn't have any of those. And I didn't even know. I'll be honest with you. I did not know where the funding would come from. All I knew is that, right, I've got to build this skill, and I'm either in a position where I have a job that funds my personal account, that I can build my personal account to be sizable enough and then grow that via trading with my skill set. And then one day, after all of these years, I might have a 100k personal account that would make me like 5 to 6k a month, and then I wouldn't have to work a normal job. Like, that was the pathway. Yet now you can get a 100k account in funding, leverage it, start making 5, 6k a month straight away. Like, it's insane how many things have changed. But just because it's easy for you to access prop firms doesn't mean it's going to be easy for you to make money. There's a formula to it, and you need to know how to just quietly fly under the radar, and you can consistently make money. I wish when I started learning how to trade, prop firms were available. They weren't. You have a golden ticket. You have a golden opportunity. Don't mess it up. You just need a formula to follow. So let me show you something on the charts as well. I think this will be really valuable for you. This is something that you can do straight away. So I've got pound yen up here. This is a recent trade of mine, 3.1%, beautiful position. But what I want to show you is this. So let's say, for example, you're funded or you're going to get funded, you've got that account and you want to fly under the radar. I want you to aim for slightly smaller percentages. Now, that could be 5%, 6%, 4%, 1-to-1s, 2-to-1s, not a fan, a minimum of 3-to-1. That's my style anyway. I know you can aim for less, but I want you to fly under the radar, but I also don't want you to skew your edge. But there's something more important. So you see how this pound yen position, you have one here, which is, this was a lower time frame move, and you also have the one up here as well. Now, I missed this one, right, because this is just not in my time zone, but this would be one that I would have taken. So what would have happened is I would have got this here for about 30 pip stop, and then I would have got out at 90% of that range. So I'm just measuring that really quick. And then I would have got out there for 4.1. So I would have added 4.1 on top of that. So it would have been like a 7.2 week for me, well, just on those two trades. That is how simple it is. And what you need is, you need to know which prop firm to do what. You have to know which account to rotate. So what I'm saying is, I don't necessarily think that you need to be trading the same way on every single one of your accounts. So you might be saying, Mark, I only have one account. Fine. If you have one account, that's fine. Do what you want. You know, you got to do what you got to work with what you've got at the end of the day. But the goal is to have multiple accounts, but not necessarily just go, right, I'm going to chuck them all on the copier. There's a time and a place when that works. But sometimes there is a benefit in treating the accounts differently. So you might have one account where you have something like this, which is, I would call this a background move. So your background move is always on the top and the bottom of ranges. There's a gem for you right there. This is something I would typically teach within the membership, but I'm just giving you a bit of a gem. So what do I mean by ranges? Well, you know when, for example, let's get up. What comes to mind? Kiwi dollar. This is a perfect example. So Kiwi dollar, if I go to the 4 hour, take a look at this. So you see how you've got this range here, and then this range here. These are your background positions, right? These are your background positions. So you've got your first one here, your second one here, and your third one there, because you're playing the ranges. And let's say, for example, your first one there got you, well, let's size it up. Your first one got you about 3.3. I'm being quite conservative here, but let's say this is the case. Your second one got you, okay, let's zoom in to see. Okay, entry there, stop above the high for about, call it 25, because it gives a little bit of room. So yeah, 25 pip stop, 90% of that range puts you at 3.4, 3.5. Okay, cool, that's fine. And then the larger one, which you'd crop through that wick at 30, and then 90%, about 4. Okay, so what you've effectively got here is you've got 3 plus 3.3 plus 3.5 plus 4, right? So you're into the double digits now, right? So you're in a good position where you've got 2 positions that are almost identical, right? See those V shapes there? You've got your larger range, but I want you to start to see all of these type of trades. They're your background positions. So imagine now you've got a 100k FTMO swing account, for example, and on that account that you treat as more of a swing, you're taking these trades in the background. You're banking 3%, 4%, 3%. You're not aiming for like massive trades. That will take care of business. Like, that's a tiny little gem for you straight away there. But there are other things that go into it, but I explain it all in the funding mechanics. But I'm just trying to give you something to work with so your mind starts opening up to, well, maybe you're not profitable right now, or you're not getting consistent withdrawals because you just not had the right approach, and you're just trying to hope that you just maximize the account. You're trying to be really greedy on every trade that you take, and even when you do well, you just get that email saying, no, you violated that rule. That's a terrible place to be. You don't need to do that. There's a much better way. So that would be your background move, and then in between all of that, you would have intraday moves, and with those intraday moves, you're going to be able to capitalize on the same run. But then it's time frame, isn't it? So if you don't know how to blend the difference between a semi-swing style and an intraday move, most people identify with one. They would say, Mark, I'm just an intraday trader, or I'm just a swing trader. Why are you one or the other? Why can't you be both? Why can't you swing trade and intraday trade, or what I call it advanced swing trade and intraday trade? You can, but you just need a system that can do it. Falcon strategy can. And if you're someone who wants to learn how to trade and you want to do that, you know exactly where we are. I highly recommend you get in before the 28th, before the price goes up, because you can lock in that legacy pricing and of course go through funding mechanics for free. I don't want you to be in a situation where you decide in 6 weeks from now, you're like, right, I'm getting involved in Falcon. You're now paying the high price and you're paying north of £500 for funding mechanics. Like, I want you to get all of that included. And if you take action now, you're going to be in a very good position come the end of the year. You'll make your money back tenfold. You don't even have to pay for funding mechanics. So you're going to make that money back so quickly by following this formula. But imagine you've taken advantage of some of these moves. And now in the lower time frame, you had another account where you are benefiting from different trades. Where so you're making money, you're doing one thing on one account, one thing on another account. Now, I know what you might be thinking. I just want it to be easy. I just want to just trade the same way and just click the button and it places the trades on all the accounts. Where has that got you so far? You're still in the same position, so clearly it's not working for you. And the same reason why you want to just chuck everything on the copier, and don't get me wrong, there's nothing against copiers. Loads of our traders use it as well. But I'm saying there's sometimes a better way, or a different approach, would I say, in which you've got to think about, well, why do you want that? Well, the same reason why you want it is the same reason why you want something to be 100% mechanical. You don't really want to think. But in this world, when do you ever get rewarded when it's just easy? When? When have you just conveniently can chuck 20, 30 accounts on a copier and it's just so smooth sailing, easy, no glitches, no orders not getting filled? Like, there are pros and cons to everything. But this, my formula of funding mechanics, drastically increases the chance and the frequency of your withdrawals. So I know that once you go through it and you follow each module that's laid out, there is almost certainty that you're going to improve the chances of you getting more frequency of payouts. So you won't be someone who goes from, oh, I got a withdrawal once in a blue moon. No, that won't happen because there'll be consistency there. And it's so simple, it's right under your nose. But you got to follow the steps. So I'm really looking forward to that coming out on the 28th of October. We've got more adding to the series as well, because what's great about this is the funding landscape is always changing. It's never the same, is it? So not only have I created these jam-packed modules that gives you everything you need, plus the resource that I haven't even mentioned. Genuinely, I don't have enough time to explain how much value there is in funding mechanics. All I can tell you is I'm just as excited for this launch as I was for H4 Mastery, as I was for Falcon Unleashed. Every single thing that we do, you know we do it with insane intention. We leave no stone unturned. So the quality, you don't even have to question it. What's more important is, are you going to get to the end of this year? Bearing in mind, we're late October. Are you going to get to the end of this year being in the same damn position again? Are you comfortable getting to December knowing there was an opportunity in front of you where you could have got involved, but you still sat on the sidelines and done nothing? I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want to get to December feeling like I've just wasted the rest of the year. This is a simple, no-brainer way for you to move forward to almost guarantee that by the end of the year, you are in a much better financial position. I look forward to seeing you on the inside. If you have any questions, you've still got a few days before the price goes up, I believe. And I'd love to see you getting involved and benefiting from funding mechanics. But I really do hope the chart work that I showed you, that gem there, it's going to go over some people's heads. But if you follow that and understand how to take advantage of those ranges while simultaneously benefiting from lower time frames, you're into a winner, and you will consistently have more capital, bigger personal account, trading with more money, but increase the chances that you can actually make this a full-time reality. And that's what I want for you.